Tonight on Pop Samurai Network's Pop Power Block, you are going to see the most evil, the most dastardly, the villainous plots that you crave. We're going to go for a top 5 list of that. We're going to have some Joel and Tell, some international streaming reviews, and maybe even a board game review. So stay tuned, and we will see you after this.
Pop Samurai, I choose you!
Is Pop Samurai?
No. Hey, Pop Samurai, if you're not listening to Pop Samurai, then you're doing nothing constructive. Correct.
In a world looking for something to listen to, a group of friends rise to the challenge. It's Pop Samurai.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Thursday night, which means it's Pop Power Block night here on Pop Samurai Network. I am Will Walkie Washkun with my co-hosts. That's Jaboy Jelani Hoon.
Yeah.
That's Critical Joel Peprocki.
Oh.
And we are about to talk top 5 evil plans in all of pop culture. Guys, how you feeling about this topic?
Ready to tell you my plan.
Ooh.
Like the best laid plans. I hope these are good.
I hope that as well. I hope you are out there having a good time. If you like what you see here, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and check out popsamurainetwork.com for where you can find all of our social feeds and more information about the show. So
An evil master plan to look at that all.
Yes,
make your plans.
I've developed this evil plan where I will use the internet to get people to watch this show. Yes, anyways.
Good stuff.
Thank you. With nothing else to say and no much further to do, I think we should get right into it. So let's go to our resident villain, Joel Peprocki. Joel.
Oh, I'm the resident villain, huh?
Yeah,
All
because I'm the host this week, so you have to be the villain.
Yeah, you're the hero, sure. All right, so my number 5, I kind of came out of this one trying to think of well, just to clarify for everybody, we should just say that it's like, you know, what we gauged it upon was how they kind of went through with it, right? So how was it pursued? And basically, I mean, the plan, you can have a plan, but if it goes to crap, then it's no good. So for the ones that were successful, I kind of was like, all right, this is a really, really bad one. In a good way, right? So it made the list. This is Devilman Crybaby. This is changing your friend into a demon to make other demons take over the earth, and then surprise, you're Satan.
Yes.
Try to hyphenate that, or try to abbreviate that one. I don't know.
Wow.
Pack that in.
Satan's plan.
I'm gonna try to. Okay, so Satan's plan.
Yeah.
Devilman Crybaby. So.
Yep.
So compact and easy to remember. I don't think you even need to write it down.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that out of the way and hopefully written down. We should clarify, Jelani's writing everything this week in blood. It just thematically worked a little bit better. So if you see him pass out during the show, please leave something in the comments and we'll send help right away. Jelani.
Yeah.
Your number 5. I hope it's a short one.
My number 5, you hope it's a short one, but guess what? It's probably not gonna be. No. Mine's number 5 is a short one. I'm gonna put down. I don't know. My number 5 comes from Captain America: Civil War, and it is the evil plan from Zemo's evil plan to break up the Avengers. Is what I'm gonna put down as my number 5.
Yes, of course. Very good. Very good.
Very cool. Yeah.
All right.
All right, my number 5 is from a character that is actually a protagonist of his show, but ultimately quite an evil character. I'm going to go with Rick Sanchez, creating an entire universe to power his car.
Yeah. That's
I'd like to just talk about it a little bit later.
I'd love.
I'm gonna put down Rick's battery is what I'm gonna put down.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
All right, perfect.
Joel, you're number 4.
All right, so this time around, I said the get-rich-quick scheme or evil plot to make money. This is Goldfinger. Irradiate
yes.
Fort Knox, and you own the rest of the gold in the world, so you're rich.
Never seen it.
We do know that.
Damn point.
Yep.
Goldfinger plan. Got it.
Yep.
Jelani.
Good.
Number 4 for you.
Number 4 for me. I came up with this one, and it's fucking stupid, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with what I'm gonna call Mufasa. Is what I'm gonna go with Scar's plan in Lion King.
Oh yeah, long
Nicely done,
live the king. Okay, my number 4. How are we doing over there?
They're good.
Yeah?
We're good.
Okay, you're looking a little pale.
I mean, I was pale.
Okay.
Listen, I haven't seen the sun in like 4 months. I don't know.
That's fair. It
right.
does still exist, I think.
Yeah,
it hasn't exploded on us yet. Number 4 for me is a pretty familiar topic. I'm gonna go with Mass Effect 3, the Elusive Man trying to dominate the Reapers instead of destroying them or not killing everything.
ME3. Okay, Elusive Man. All
Elusive Man, dominate Reapers.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know that. We all know. If you don't know what we're talking about, go and watch last week's episode where we all bared our souls and gave out the top 5 nerdy things that we didn't know about, that we hadn't experienced or seen or whatever. There's some pretty big omissions, pretty big gaps. I know we present like we all know everything, but we're real dumb, you guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joel, number 3.
We're only human. But speaking of non-humans, this one has to do with time travel done right, or at least attempted to be. But the plot device is time travel. It is Terminator to go back and kill the Savior.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. What an evil ass plan. Go back and kill him when he's a kid.
The opposite of the baby Hitler thought experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Jelani, number 3 for you.
Number 3 from me. All right, we're getting into the big ones for me here. Let's see here. I'm gonna go with my number 3. Comes from my 007, but the one I've seen from Skyfall, and that is Raul Silva's plan to kill M in Skyfall. So
nice.
Very good.
What if they made a Bond movie that wasn't based around an evil plot, but just something else? Like
he's
just going on vacation. Yeah.
Goes on vacation, he just bangs a lot, and that's all.
Yeah.
What's the difference from any other James Bond movie, right?
Yeah. Take it all out, and it's that, right? They got the plot.
They really should make a James Bond's Day Off.
Yeah.
I think that'd be wonderful.
Awesome. All right, Will.
My number 3. This was the first one that I thought of when I came up with this topic. That is going to be Emperor Palpatine's rise to Sith Lord. Spoiler alert.
Like it.
If you haven't seen it yet,
then
it'll shock you.
Banish yourself.
Joel, number 2.
All right.
Getting up there.
So these are starting to be my real heavy hitters here. This one is taken from the original version of Old Boy. This is Lee's plan.
Do not spoil it.
I know. I shouldn't, but I'll leave it at that for now, and I'll have to defend it eventually. But
Oh
I'll try to.
shit!
I'm
Oh my god!
just gonna say, when I was looking for inspiration for this topic, I definitely saw a synopsis of Old Boy pop up, and
Where you're like, holy shit!
I'm like, what is it? So yeah.
Yeah.
Jelani, number 2.
All right. Okay, sorry. Number 2 from me here comes from comic books, actually. Here, guys. I'm gonna go with the DC villain. And the DC villain is Bane, and I'm gonna go with the Nightfall plan. And it is the one where he plans to break Batman's back and how he goes about it. So
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And that brings us to my number 2, which also happens to be a Batman villain, but I am going to go with the Joker in The Dark Knight, turning Harvey Dent from Savior to Scourge.
nice.
Gotham.
Joker plan.
Yep. That is my number 2. If you all out there don't quite know how this is going to go, basically we're coming up with our lists now. Later we're going to debate which of our items gets onto the big show list, and then very scientifically produce that list and give it to you. But now we have to go to our runners up, our honorable mentions for things that didn't quite meet all of the evil criteria. Joel, what didn't quite make your list?
All right, so I've got MGS5, Skullface's parasite plan to kill all of the Western world that speaks English. The parasite focuses on English speakers. There you go, spoiler. Die Hard with a Vengeance, Simon Says. Overlord, Make Zombie Nazis. Dr. Robotnik in every single Sonic, but particularly Sonic Adventure. I said Kefka's Evil for Evil's Sake in Final Fantasy VI. Lex Luthor, President of the United States in the 2000s comic. Joker, Killing Joke, a bad joke, essentially. Char Aznable, Take Over Xeon. Death Note, Light Yagami, nod to Will.
Yeah.
King Hyperion from Immortals, Kill the Gods. They Live, The Aliens Take Over the World, 1984. Make people hate an enemy that actually represents something good for them. And, of course, Palpatine in the Senate.
I like
Right
it.
on. Jelani, what about you?
All right. Runners up here. Thanos from Infinity War. He's going to snap half the people away. I'm going to go with Rich Valentine's cell phone death plan from Kingsman. Really good. Really good. Hans Gruber, pretend to be a terrorist so he can steal and rob a bank plan. I like that a lot. Let's see here. What else I got? The Joker creating Two-Face. Really good. Even though this actor's a piece of shit, John Doe from Seven, his Seven Deadly Sin plan. And then, of course, let's see. Last one I got here is Ozymandias's plan from The Watchmen.
Nice.
All
right.
And, that's what I got.
For me, it's a pretty short list. I had Jigsaw from the Saw movies, taking people apart and doing, all these psychological choices on them. I had Metal Gear Solid 2 in there. I had Sho Tucker from Full Metal Alchemist. And I also had, what else did I have? And that's going to be it for me. I think that's all I'm going to talk about.
Nice.
Okay. Nice.
Very good.
And so
to hear these number ones.
Yes, those are everything. Oh, I had Walter White from Breaking Bad dissolving people in acid.
Yikes.
And silencing anybody who would dare speak his name.
Wow.
So, yeah, brutal. So that is all of our honorable or dishonorable mentions. We've gotten a lot of dishonorable mentions recently. So now it's time to get to the big bad bosses. Joel, hit us.
All right, this one made somebody's runners-up list, and I think it actually deserves to be on this list because I don't know a villain that was more diabolical to make people question who's good and who's bad. This is Ozymandias, World War III.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to hear you talk about that.
Love that.
All right. I was already starting to write it down when you started talking.
Jelani, what you got? Number 1.
Mine also comes from comic books. Once again, my top 2 are from comic books, and this is from a storyline called Tower of Babel. I don't know if any of you guys know about that storyline, but this is Ra's al Ghul's plan in that. And my defense will be the plan when I go and break it down. So, the Tower of Babel plan from Ra's al Ghul against the Justice League.
Sweet. Okay. And my number 1 is going to be from video games, a series of video games, little thing called Fallout. And I am going to go with the core premise of the games, which is Vault-Tec encouraging nuclear war and then experimenting on its customers that take shelter in its vaults.
Wow.
Nice. I like that.
Pretty
Evil
dark.
ass corporation.
Yeah. How can you not love that? Okay, so that is the worst of the worst, the most evil of the evil, the most cruel of the most cruel. But wait, one other thing can be crueler, and that is that we need to take these 15 worthy nominations and drill them down into only 5. How will we do it? With debate, of course. And so we will go in rounds nominating what we want on the list and where we think it should be. We will each then get time to describe why ours is the most diabolical. And at the end, we will vote, because democracy is how we win. Democracy is how we triumph over evil, everyone. So just remember that. November's not far away. Anyway, Joel, I've been picking on you all show. You have the distinct pleasure of nominating first.
Yeah, I believe I am the only one with an anime on this list. I want one on here. I want Devilman Crybaby, number 5.
All right. Sounds good.
Fair. Jelani.
All right. I'm going to nominate. I believe I want to nominate. Number 5 for that one. I'm gonna throw up number 4. I'll throw the Lion King Scar's plan at number 4.
Nice. And I will throw up I'm gonna throw up the Joker turning. Oh no, I don't want to do that yet. Okay, I'll do Rick Sanchez. I'll do Rick Sanchez using the microverse to power his car at number 5.
All right.
Devilman v. Rick Sanchez. All right.
So we have 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the lowest spot and then go up, which means Joel will argue first, followed by me, and then Jelani for number 4. Joel.
Yeah, and everybody, I think we're going to have to admit here, there are going to be big time spoilers in this. So
that's true.
We're going to spoil the shit out of everything in this. So,
and unfortunately, if nobody's played any of these within our group of 3 here also, or watched, sorry, that includes me, because I know exactly. It's not like we wouldn't love to play them or whatever either way.
It'll be okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
It only spoils it if you let it. Now,
Yep.
Joel, are you ready with 3 minutes on the clock for the 3 of us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And take it away.
All right. So imagine you have a childhood friend and you wonder why this person doesn't seem to get empathy. And you grow up, you're still friends with this person, but at a distance, and then they come back into your life, and then they kind of tell you that there's a lot wrong in the world, and they want you to partake in something, and by doing so, you turn into a damn demon. And you don't know that this whole time, he's actually just pushing you in a direction further and further and further. And basically, that's the plot of Devilman Crybaby, which is Devilman is used as a tool to essentially make more demons come to light on Earth. They were in hiding, and they've been here for a long time, but the more that they come about, the more vicious things they do to humans on Earth. And basically, they come out in force and want to take over the damn planet. And so eventually you have humans fighting the damn demons, but it's a losing battle. So you're going to destroy humanity, and you might lose a whole bunch of demons in the meantime, but Satan doesn't give a shit, because that's who I'm talking about right now. That's the person who was his friend the whole time. It's damn near Satan.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
so that's it.
Let's pivot over to me, because I'm talking about Rick Sanchez and his microverse. Now, here's the thing. You were talking about the devil. I'm talking about a guy who anointed himself as God. He decided he was going to create his own little universe and make all of the denizens of that universe do manual labor to power his freaking car. This is how little he rates intelligent life, is he will just use it and cast it aside. And the thing that is most evil about this, in my opinion, is his absolutely completely casual nature when he's like showing it off. It's like, yeah, of course I created these idiots, and I'm gonna go down and tell them they're all idiots, and they're still gonna do my bidding for me. Then he goes in and gets in a fight with one and sees that it's starting to recurse because evil spreads. And so that's why I think Rick Sanchez deserves to be on this list. Jelani.
Nice.
Well said.
Let me talk about the plan that Scar had concocted here. He was going to Mufasa the shit out of his brother. And when I talk about Mufasa, he's going to throw him off a fucking cliff, guys. All right? I can't think of a cleaner plan than that.
To be clear, you're using the act and the noun of that act as the verb.
Exactly, right? He Mufasa the shit out of this guy, right? He was like, long live the king. Hoo-yah! I'm the king, bitch, right? And that's what happened. And he would have, this plan would have gone through flawlessly had his underlings not been incompetent and not murdered that little kid, right? Because if they had murdered them like they were supposed to, like the plan said, everything would have gone on the hitch. He would have been king for 100 years, and all because he threw some guy off a cliff, Mufasa the shit out of him. Come on, clean plan. He planned it. He was ready for it. Stampede, bitch, through your house. All right, that's it. Boom.
Booyah. 100 years. Scar and hyenas. 100 years. 100 years.
100 years. 100 years.
Scar and hyenas. Season 1.
Season 1. That's right. All right.
All right. Well, we have 3 wonderful contenders here. We are out of time. I may have flexed it a little bit there because I went over. And then I stole some of Jelani's time talking about parts of speech, which is the real crime here. Anyway, we have Rick Sanchez versus Devilman Crybaby in the number 5 spot. So we will start the voting with Joel. And then we'll go to me. We're going to go counterclockwise this time. End up on Jelani.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with mine. Like I said, I think it's the only anime out there, and there's definitely a bunch of master plans in anime, but this one I think was a very good one.
All right, I'm gonna do a rarity here, and I'm actually gonna switch my vote to Devilman Crybaby because I think that's a fantastic pull. I didn't even think about it, but I loved that show, and it is a truly evil master plan. And I'm sparing Jelani, so that maybe he'll vote for something of mine later. Ever. Yes, for the first time, we are not making him be the deciding vote. Jelani, how would you have voted?
I've not seen Devilman Crybaby.
I thought you recommended Devilman Crybaby to me like 2 years ago.
Joel was the one who recommended it.
Oh, man. So you would have voted for me.
I would have voted for Rick Sanchez.
I'm leaving.
Simply on the fact that I did not know anything about Devilman Crybaby, other than you both have said on the show before that, like, yeah, the twist and the stuff and like the road is crazy, right? That's all I know, and it sounds like, yeah, the way you described it is like, yeah, this plan sounds pretty fucked up, and it sounds like really great, and I would have loved to watch it at some point. I probably will. I'm going to watch it.
You definitely should watch it.
I definitely should watch it. But yeah, I would have voted for Rick just simply on the fact that I just never encountered the plan, and so I don't know anything about it really. I'm sorry.
Nope. I'm just throwing my own nominations away, I guess.
Pissing in the wind.
But but you know what? That's fine. Devilman Crybaby takes it for the number 5 spot.
Well, why don't we give you a little more responsibility? You can vote first on the number 4. That is Scar from The Lion King.
Right. I'm going to Mufasa this off of the cliff, and I'm going to say yes.
Very well done. I am also going to Mufasa this. I think it's a fantastic pick. An inspired pick. Long live the pick. Put it at number 4. Joel, how would you have voted?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a tough time with this one because I'm just looking at the other stuff that we have on this list. But in the end, you know what? It's a great pick, and yeah, I agree with it.
Right on.
Nice.
So that means that 2 of our spots have been taken up, the number 5 and the number 4. If my math is correct, 1 through 3 still available. And Jelani, you get to nominate first in round 2.
All right, this is very difficult because there's a lot of really good plans on like across the board, right? So I'm gonna. This is not hard, but I'm gonna shoot Tower of Babel for number 2.
All right.
Number 2.
The Joker turns Harvey Dent, number 2.
You bastard.
The battle we all wanted to see.
All right, here we go.
I am gonna put wait, you put what up against that?
The Joker turning Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight.
All right, I will be kind. I am a kind god.
Okay.
I'm gonna get. I want to put Old Boy at number 3.
Okay. Well, Old Boy at number 3 means you get the privilege of discussing first.
All right.
We have Old Boy at number 3 versus the Joker at number 2 versus Bane at number 2.
Yeah,
Joel, are you ready?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna get.
3 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Trying to pack the angst of being trapped for 15 years and not knowing why into 1 minute is very difficult. But basically, this movie does a good job of succinctly putting that together into probably a good 40 minutes or less of the movie. So regardless, the point of this movie is you have a person who in the beginning you get a small bit of history, but not much, and then you more or less. Actually, I'm sorry. Basically, let's just start with what's happened here. This guy eventually is going to get out of this place that he's been stuck in for 15 years. He wants to get his revenge. He gets out. And he's going to go and fall in love with somebody eventually. But what he doesn't know is that the 15 years that have passed, it is his damn daughter. Now, that's the evil plan because what he did is he accused a friend of his for doing something with his younger sibling. And basically, the guy who set this all up made him live out that exact same scenario. And now it's like, oh my God, he just went through that whole thing. The moral dilemma. So, holy crap. It is disturbing and well done.
Yeah.
Super messed up. All right, Jelani.
Sorry to put it out there, but go watch it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about one of the best storylines from the Justice League comic books, and that is the Tower of Babel. You have the villain Ra's al Ghul, and when it comes to villain plans, right? I think a plan to steal someone else's plans is so good, right? And the idea behind this is that the Justice League is this all just this group of superheroes to get bounded together, and how do you defeat that, right? How do you do that? And Roz came up with the idea and found out that the world's greatest superhero, Batman, has contingency plans on each one of the heroes if they ever went out of line. And so what happens is Ra's al Ghul steals those contingency plans from the Batcave, from the Bat computer, and enacts all of the contingency plans against the Justice League, taking them all out. It is a really great storyline because basically it turns Batman's his constant detective mode, his constant trying to protect the world against any threat, possible or not, against him, and he knows that these are his plans, and it breaks the Justice League apart. It turns friends against friends, and it takes it deals a big blow to them, and causes massive damage to each one of them when they face the contingency plans that Batman had enacted here for them. So I think it's one of the greatest plans set against them, and I think it deserves to be on this list. So that's what I got.
Okay.
Sorry if I went over.
It is okay. We are out of time. But I am going to give myself just a little bit of extra.
Please do.
In order to discuss The Dark Knight, the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, one of the greatest incarnations of the Joker that's ever been portrayed on the big screen. The best thing about him was the plan, in my opinion. He was obviously very chaotic. He portrayed the character well. But, this whole time we're thinking, oh, this is like a prologue, like a very early story. And so we get to see Harvey Dent as this white knight DA, a symbol of justice. And the Joker the whole time is making all these chaotic, moves, and it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, so that he can eventually make the case to Harvey that he is not the bad guy, he is a neutral guy, and that all of the people Harvey used to think were good were actually conspiring against him. His ability to take someone who is so driven and so good. I mean, Batman even says he was the best of us, and he dragged him down to our level. That is incredible. I mean, Harvey Dent's whole character is Two-Face, the duality of man, and Joker is what dragged that out of him. And I just think it's masterful. It speaks to way more than just the plot of the movie. And I think it's great. And even if it doesn't make it on the list, I think it's great. So that's all my time. Way past my time, in fact. So let's vote.
Sure.
Starting at number 3, Old Boy Joel. Sorry, I meant Old Boy by Joel. Easy mistake.
Yeah, I know. You can see my hair, my grays in this light.
Basically,
I've been waiting. Basically, I am waiting here for 15 years to tell you that I am going to. Okay, let's keep this on this list. It is diabolical and bad.
Oh, Jelani, what do you vote?
Old Boy, I've stated it before on our shows. Yes, Old Boy is one of my favorite movies. The twist is out of this world, and especially as you progress through it. But yeah, this I think needs to be on this list. So,
and me personally, I haven't seen Old Boy. So I'm going to abstain, which means it makes it on the list. Hooray!
Yep.
And then we have the business of the number 2 spot. The Joker versus Ra's al Ghul. So, Jelani, how do you plead?
Both very good. Very good plans. I think I will have to stick with the Tower of Babel storyline, the plan that Rish put together, just on the effect and how it resonated through decades of comic books of Justice League to this date. So I think I'll stay on that for now.
Sure. I think I am going to stick with the Joker. I still think it's basically the best comic book plot that's ever been played out in movies. And so I'm going to go with that, and we'll throw it over to Joel, who has the heart-wrenching task of deciding between these two.
Yeah,
Break
I
the
mean,
tie.
you guys couldn't have picked a tougher two to put against each other. This is definitely, man, I don't know what to say about this. I'm just going to go with a gut punch here and give it to none other than, pull out the envelope.
You're
Harvey
stalling.
I
Did I hear that right?
I gotta do it. Yeah, you did. Harvey Dent. That was, I think what you just said over your minute actually helped a little bit, which was best portrayal in a movie.
Well, thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And with that, there is but one. The number one. We've all been dancing around it, and I get to nominate first. I'm going to stick with my top pick, which is Vault Tech experimenting on its customers from Fallout. How about you, Joel?
I'm going with my number one, which is Ozymandias.
Yes. And
Oh, boy.
Jelani?
Let's see here. I'm going to throw up. I'm going to throw up the Nightfall plan. Why not?
Ooh.
Or Batman. Excellent. So we have 3 worthy contenders vying for the number 1 spot. Since I was the first to nominate and we're all going for the same spot, I will go first this time. 3 minutes again on the clock. And I am ready to go. So I'm going to go.
Do it.
All right.
Okay, so we talked before about Rick Sanchez having no regard for his captors. This is even worse than that, because this is a corporation telling people that they will protect them from the bomb, selling them on that idea, taking their money, and then once they help move along the cogs of war to trigger that nuclear attack, then they experiment on the people within the vaults, and there are hundreds of vaults. We only ever get to see about 200 of them numerically, but presumably they are all across the US. They might even be in other countries. And they're just every vault is different. Every experiment is different. It's like that jigsaw effect where they're doing psychological experiments. Mm-hmm. They're poisoning their water and their food supply. They're messing with societal tensions. And every game, it turns out, the wanderer or the hero of the game. And that's where you start with all that fucked up stuff powering you along. It's always fun to find the vaults and see what kind of messes they were getting into. That's why I think Fallout should be on this list. And next, we will go over to Joel.
All right. So Ozymandias from The Watchmen. I'm just going to say that the portrayal in the movie was pretty darn good, but as a comic book, if you read it before the movie came out, I think most people were pretty impacted by this because it's truly like one of those, what the hell, and what the hell am I supposed to make of this? Because I don't wholeheartedly disagree with the sentiment, but it's a terrible plan because you're going to kill a lot of people. But that plan is to essentially kick off World War III between U.S. and Russia, by having a common enemy. And so if you do that, which he turns himself essentially into that, and you also are part of a group, the Watchmen, who you take them aside and kind of slowly dwindle them down so that they're not available to fix the situation, or even do they disagree with his sentiment. It's like, what do you do in that scenario? The only people who could stop this aren't going to stop it. It's a weird scenario. And so it's definitely one of the better plans. And I think it's brutal because it plays off of a lot of the fears at the time, and it was a very relevant thing politically in the world. So it was just a very well conceived idea by Alan Moore. I'm going to leave it at that.
Hell yeah. Over to Jelani with Nightfall.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about one of the best Batman storylines out there. An introduction to the character of Bane, who nowadays everyone assumes is just this meathead who's on steroids and stuff like that. But when he was first introduced, he was calculating, eloquent, and he was smart, and he knew and he figured out how to break Batman, and he made up this plan of how he would do it. He was able, in this storyline, he finds out through just his intelligence who Batman is. He breaks out all of his rogues gallery, makes Batman go through the entire rogues gallery in one night to try and battle his way through. And when he is battered and broken and tired, he breaks him. And this is the first time that it was ever shown as graphic as it was in comic books. In comic book history, Batman has never been broken before. Nowadays, we're used to seeing something like this. We're used to, like, it's something that's like, oh, we know this storyline. But back when this first happened in Nightfall, it was a huge thing. We thought at that time there was no more Bruce Wayne. He's crippled. He's in a wheelchair. Someone else has taken up the mantle. Maybe we're never going to have Bruce Wayne back. And, you know, this is a plan that broke this character and pulled them out of comic books and was replaced by another character taking over the Batman mantle for a good long while. So I think it's one of the best plans enacted by a villain against Batman, and all the hardship he had to go through. So much so that a lot of modern Batman stories are inspired by this. And I'm sorry I'm going over time, so like I'm gonna stop right there. That's why I think it needs to be on this list.
Just a quick search of Bane Batman Nightfall produces so many images in so many different art styles.
Yeah, I know.
Of that same like backbreaker move.
Yeah.
And it's just an iconic moment. It's pretty awesome. Ooh, and one very creepy pop figure.
Ah.
Anyway.
Damn, I kind of want it now. I kind of want that pop figure. I want to see just like these cute figures, and just one of them is getting his back broken.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway, that is the time for debate. It's over. The time for voting is now. Being the first to have gone, I think I rather enjoyed all of these.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think I'm gonna stick with mine though. I actually think I've got a pretty good one in Fallout this time. So let's go over to Joel. See what he's thinking. What are you noodling on over there?
I'm having a tough choice here because I'm worried that we're gonna knock all three of ours off. And if that happens, then we all still have some good stuff left. But I would feel very bad if I did not leave Ozymandias on this list. The smartest man in the world with the smartest plan in the world. I'm leaving Watchmen on here.
Okay. Over to Jelani.
Very nice. So I have a choice to make. If I stick for the folks at home, if they don't know how our rules work, if I was to stick with my pick, that means there is a what's the word up here I'm looking for? A tie through between all the picks, and so all the picks are stricken from the list forever. Yeah. Looking at that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast my vote over to the Ozymandias pick. Because on the simple fact that I was trying to get some comic plans on this. And Ozymandias' plan was one of the biggest and most well thought out plans in comics history. So I'm throwing that one. My vote for that one. I do love Fallout. That was really well spoken debate on that.
Interesting.
Oh, well.
Pick. Yeah, definitely
Love
inspired.
it. Very good.
All right. Well, that means that we have filled our list to the brim with evil, dastardly plans. And we will throw it over to our resident evil, dastardly plan revealer. Please, in your best supervillain monologuing his entire plan to the hero so that he can foil it later, voice, would you give us that big, beautiful list?
Do I look like some comic book villain?
Yeah.
All right, let's go through this big, beautiful list here. Ladies and gentlemen, number 5, Satan and his plan for the Devilman Crybaby. Number 4, Scar Mufasaing the shit out of Mufasa. And the like. Number 3, sibling love in Old Boy. Number 2, Joker's plan from the Dark Knight. And number 1, the smartest man in the world tricks the world in Watchmen.
How will we ever thwart this evil plot? Thank you very much, Jelani. Thank you at home for watching. I'm sure that we missed some stuff that you like, so why don't you leave us a comment and we will talk about that later, probably amongst ourselves. And we are going to take a quick 10-minute break now while we recharge our evil meters. And we'll be back. Right. For we need our evil tonium to replenish. And we will be back after a short 10-minute break for Pop Aficionados. So please do stick around and we will see you soon.
Woo-woo.